Oh,
Welcome,
nice.
everyone, to Hat Chat episode 101. That's exactly the vibe we want, and nothing else leading into episode 101. Straight off the back of our
101.
guest, Sips, who celebrated our
Yeah.
100th, and then we had a little break because Smith was on holiday. And
Sorry,
now
whose
he's
voice is that?
back
I
with
don't know
similar heat in the UK.
Who am I
I
hearing?
fought the Spanish weather and the Spanish flu.
No,
Who
don't
are you hearing?
bring the flu back. What?
Oh, you brought the Spanish flu back?
Yeah.
Oh, not again. Keep bringing bloody flus back.
Yeah, I've been bringing. I came back with a flu, which was really fun. So it's literally the day I got back, I was like, "Oh, I'm feeling kind of shitty actually," and then yeah, bang. And I'm fine now. But I still sound a little bit bunged up. I occasionally like just go sneeze and just like 2 weeks worth of snot will just like fire out of my face, and I'll be in somewhere public and just be like, "Can I have a prep serviette, please?" And I'm now like,
So
it doesn't
there's
really
no
absorb
warning
anything,
signs.
and-
It's just instantaneous explosions.
Well, the warning sign is I'm gonna sneeze, but the thing is, normally I'd sneeze and it would just be like like a dry kind of hay fevery sneeze, like a.
Is there a
sort of
build up to
thing.
your sneezes? What does that sound like?
Not really. Like I'll get a very violent stinging sensation in my nose. Anyway, yeah, no. But at the moment when those sneezes happen, and they do and will happen, unlike Ross brought this up recently
yeah.
about how it'd be impossible not to sneeze sometimes.
My
And that's
sneezes
take-
are triggering more sneezes lately.
Sweet.
really?
So I think I sneezed almost 8 times in a row. the other day.
That's too many times. That is way
That's
too
pretty
many
good
times.
That's pretty good.
Especially if you're
going.
busy trying to do something else. It's the most annoying thing.
8
Yeah.
times.
Because
Yeah,
you're like,
yeah.
well, I'm trying to do a task. And then you're like, oh, that must be it. It's triggered the next one. So it's just a chain reaction, and I
God.
can't stand it. It's just awful. Like my normal sneezes are 3, and I hate them. I
He
can't hold
hates
them in.
sneezing.
Yeah.
Holding them in, it worries me. Hold them in.
Oh, what do you,
Because
what do you
I
think
just
your
think
lungs
that,
are going to explode or rupture?
look, you can get an aneurysm and die and drop dead at any point. I don't want that to be caused because I just decided, oh, I'm going to be quiet today. I'm going to let them out. I'm just going to try and let them out into a pillow or maybe a towel or a fabric that's just going to conceal most of the sound and silence them. But dear God, I can't hold them in. I've tried.
I don't think you should be
Well,
expected
it's like-
to. I think it's stupid, the whole idea of like holding your sneezes in. Like, who came
Yeah.
up with
Yeah.
that? And like, it's clearly bad. Like, it doesn't feel good to do that.
Doesn't feel
And who's
good, but maybe
gaining?
I want to know the science behind it. I want to know if there is something that could happen to you if you did hold your sneeze in. Like, has someone died from that? Am
Let's
I
do
being
some spurious
is it just the
Googling.
feeling that I'm feeling at the time feels like you could pop something, like something in your head could pop.
It's a lot of pressure, isn't
Whether
it?
that's
Right.
true. One time a doctor said, "Oh, you can pop your ears, whatever." I had to pop my ears. And I was
Yeah.
like, "Can I ever go too far with that?" He's like, "No, it's impossible."
Can you
It
inside
almost
of your ear
feels like you can
pop
go too
out
far, though.
like the whole
Well,
thing?
Something happens. Like after the popping, you're like, wait, no. And it feels like it's just, you feel like you're pushing too hard that air comes out of your eyes. And so then you're like, like over the tear ducts open up. And then you can feel little gusts of air popping out of your eyes.
Yeah. Oh,
You're like,
I
"That's
totally
too
get
much."
that. Yeah. No, I get the little bubble sensation you
Yeah.
get when,
No, I don't
yeah,
like
little
that.
bubbles on the eyes. Yeah.
Do you ever
Is
get
that-
like the
'cause I remember we-
squitty eye where you have like
Yeah,
air in there
conjunctivitis,
and then you
yeah.
squeeze it and you can feel it, but then you
Yeah,
let
there's a little-
go and the air goes back in and you're just back and forth like your eye tear
Yeah.
duct.
That happens a lot more with the hay fever rubbing of the eyes. It's
Mm.
hard not to. I know you shouldn't because they just go all puffy and then you end up looking like a boxer, like halfway through the fight or after the fight.
And it is
But,
a fight.
like-
Let's be honest with nature.
It is, but honestly, like the itchy eyes is the worst part of hay fever. I think, really, like
Yeah.
it's just so irritating,
Yeah.
and
Wow.
you want to itch it. Like if you had chickenpox, you want to scratch it. You just these urges you have to do.
Again, chickenpox. Like, how fresh is that memory in your mind? I had it when I was a kid.
Yeah.
How do you remember
Sorry.
that you have
Sorry.
such an urge to
It was
itch
really I
chickenpox?
had to wrap myself in a wet bed sheet, to prevent myself from wanting to itch myself at the time. I remember that.
Right.
Oh,
And
that's brutal.
Because that was just like a cooling sensation on the skin. It was like, that's nice.
Yeah.
I don't know
that's-
how old was I?
Good
must have
God,
been,
that
like,
must be so itchy.
9 or something. New memory unlocked. I forgot about that. But that was So I dampened it. It's almost like your story, Trot, of when you went to bed in a wet. Wait, what did you do? It was so hot out.
It was
you
so
decided
hot,
to
I
wet your
just
bed.
drenched myself
Oh, that was
in
it.
cold water from my shower and just lied in
Yeah.
bed in full clothes.
That's it. In full clothes because of they wanted the water on you.
I want the
Hashtag full
water on
clothes.
me at all times. And then I was just in warm water after like 10 minutes in
course.
wet clothes. And my bed was soaked.
What does that do to the body? Like, does that mess with the body's temperature in a way that's like not healthy?
Yeah, it probably caused an aneurysm.
Oh no.
So you should worry about that too.
What about the aneurysms?
Anyway,
you should worry about aneurysms. They can happen anytime.
Why
You
would
walk
you
across
worry
the
about
road.
them though? Like,
You should spend all your time.
if you
thinking
can't
about it.
control an aneurysm, why am I
No, you
spending
should-
all my time worrying about the potential of
you should
something
worry
that's out
about
of my
all the
control?
potential illnesses and diseases you could get within the next 30 days.
Yeah, I'm worried enough about
it's a
COVID.
hobby, isn't it? It's a number one hobby in your 20s.
Yeah.
Sorry, in your 30s is suddenly realizing that you're
I'm at
You're
the age
mortal.
where this is happening to people. Oh, woman 35 dropped dead for some reason. Oh, 35. I'm 34 this year. I could be woman.
I could be
35.
woman.
Me, woman, could be.
It's annoying
Me
to think
dead.
like that, but that's the realities of it. Unfortunately, aging.
It's mild
not go into
hypochondria too. Let's be
Of
real.
course it is. Oh yeah, massively. Yeah.
It's like
Massive
worrying that a
hypochondria.
sneeze is going to give you
You
an
don't need to worry
aneurysm,
about
so
it.
you're never going to hold it in a sneeze.
Well, no, it's when someone says, "Be quiet with that sneeze." It's like the alternative is aneurysm.
I'll die. I'll die.
I would rather run up to you and sneeze in your face every single time.
Well, here,
I've sworn off sneezing, please.
let me tell you from
Cutting down.
healthline.com the dangers of holding in a sneeze. Here you go. Sneezing is a powerful activity. A sneeze can propel droplets of mucus from your nose at a rate of up to 100 miles an hour.
Oh, let's race them.
Why are sneezes so powerful? It's all about pressure. When you sneeze, your body produces pressure in your respiratory system, of course. Includes your sinuses, nasal cavity, and down the throat into your lungs. In a 2016 study, scientists measured a pressure level of 1 pound force per square inch, 1 psi, in the windpipe of a woman who was sneezing. When a person is exhaling hard during strenuous activity, they have a windpipe pressure that's much less, about 0.03 psi. So, if you're heavy breathing from working out, that's nowhere near a sneeze.
Yeah.
I think that's pretty obvious, right? Holding in a sneeze greatly increases pressure inside the respiratory system to a level about 5 to 24 times that caused by the sneeze itself. Experts say holding this additional pressure inside your body can cause potential injuries, which can be serious, some of which include a ruptured eardrum, a middle ear infection, damaged blood vessels in the eyes, nose, or eardrum, a diaphragm injury, an aneurysm. It could lead to the rupturing of a
There
brain.
it is. There's the big
An
A.
aneurysm was in that list.
Throat damage.
Aneurysm.
So
And
holding
broken ribs. You can break your
a
ribs doing
sneeze
it.
can break your ribs and cause an aneurysm. Why do it then? What, just because you're like, oh, I get it if there's like a killer on the loose and you're like, don't sneeze. This is the time to hold it in. Sure, risk it.
To
But
bring
no other time.
to mediate that a little bit, can it cause a heart attack? I'm sure you're worried about that now. Here we go.
Oh God.
Neither sneezing nor holding in a sneeze will cause your heart to stop, but it may temporarily affect your heart rate. And can you die from holding in a sneeze? We haven't come across any reported deaths of people dying from holding in their sneezes. But technically it's not impossible. Huh?
What does an aneurysm do if it doesn't just potentially kill you?
Gives you a new
Surely some people
way of thinking.
different.
Oh, I have to
outlook on
rebuild
life.
neuron pathways around that rupturing in my brain.
Oh God.
But I feel happier, weirdly.
So it can cause aneurysms, not heart issues. Nice. Well, that's good to know. But the aneurysm thing sounds bad.
It's more like the delicate ends of where air exhales can be damaged, like, you know, blood vessels in the eyes or eardrums or nasal cavity or break a rib. Yeah. That sounds insane that you could break a rib.
I'd like to know what scenario that is. What, by holding it in or just sneezing in general?
Holding in a sneeze.
Holding, like you that's weak ribs. That's got to be weak ribs. Surely you're in a situation where you're like either leaning against something that could potentially crack them, or maybe you've got a seatbelt on. It's in that locked position where it's like too tight. You're like, wait, hang on. I can't lose. I'm
Oh
stuck.
yeah, I guess sneezing with a restriction, like a vest or something,
Yeah.
could do that.
Yeah, I've definitely
That
done that
makes more
before.
sense.
You don't want
Anyway.
to sneeze in a gimp suit. That's what I'm saying.
When answering the door for a delivery.
I exploded like one of those sort of high pressure balloon animals.
Burst
Oh,
to
and the latex is
seams.
just, oh
The
my
gimp suit
God.
just
those
crumples.
are expensive.
Your body just
Yeah.
disappears like Obi-Wan in Empire Strikes Back.
Yeah. Oh, he's gone. He just exploded
Wow,
inside the
his
suit.
entire
You
body
were
just
hit by a
ruptured.
lightsaber and disappeared.
Yeah,
That's weird.
it is
Cloak
weird.
was fine.
Let's not get into
Let's not go
that.
into it. Let's not get to it.
This is a Harry Potter podcast specifically.
Of course,
Anyway.
yeah. There's so many errors in that as well.
There is.
So.
Our incredible patrons have once again blessed us with
Amazing.
God,
their
they're incredible.
Oh, that is really good. Thank you for
almighty
supporting us.
votes. Thank you so much for your wisdom and your choice today as we dive into our hypothetical of the week. And the most voted for one is as follows. Alex Smith, I'll allow you the platform.
Well,
Oh.
you're gonna have to give me a second because
Wow,
I don't
this
have
is a
that
huge
box
build-up.
up.
You say it as loud
hold
as
on,
you
coming.
possibly humanly can.
Bellow
Drown
it.
out the
So
sound
for
of
all the
honking
people
horn.
to hear
Oh,
from
shit,
that
the
document
first
you
one
had
is-
loaded up,
He's
ready
always
to
looking at
go.
it. It's a document that we
If-
prepared just before the stream.
If you were given the power to erase an invention, which one would it be? Nuclear weapons.
I was going to say
Pretty good.
condoms.
Why?
Why?
Why condoms? Why would you not
Just
want
for
them to
the
be
reaction,
invented?
mostly.
Like what? Yeah. I mean, well, it just makes it seem like you're like what, like a anti-abortionist, I guess, or like you just
Yeah.
nature.
I'm pro-life.
I'm pro-life, but I'm
prefers,
also pro any kind of prevention. You just have to have kids.
You just have
He's
to
not
do it.
protection,
You
is
have
he?
to.
I'm not protection. Nice.
I mean, the nukes was a good one because
Yeah.
that's the ultimate. I mean, I guess any kind of nuke going off would be devastating to everyone.
Yeah,
So that's
it's
like a
pretty
big one.
sad, Tim's. And also, it allows countries like Russia to do what they're doing at the moment, which is basically just like,
The threat.
yeah, just the threat of it. And you know, it means that we can't like go in and nip a war in the bud, so to speak. You know, we can't go in and go, look, Russia, stop fucking around.
Yeah.
You're outnumbered by all of NATO. Like, get the fuck out of Ukraine. Like, the only reason that hasn't happened is because of the threat of
They've got
nuclear
the
weapons.
server settings and they've
Yeah.
allowed nukes.
I don't know
so many
why.
more people
Like,
died. because of
every
that, but-
time I think of these hypotheticals, I think
Yeah.
they're always going to come out a little differently. Like the answer's always going to be like, imagine having no light bulbs.
I
or-
know, yeah.
But-
Yeah. But the
Imagine
seriousness.
This is which
Of
one would
the
you want to
nuke.
get rid of? I know I'll give you a funny one in a minute. I mean, I said
Okay,
that one
we'll build up
initially
to
just
it.
because like that's
As
'cause I think an
that's-
obvious one.
Makes sense.
Yeah,
It's true. Yeah. No nukes would be
Yeah.
great. No
Um,
looming threat of total annihilation through horrific means would be wonderful. But what would it like without light bulbs? Let's talk about that.
Candlelight for the next 100 years.
For some reason, Chris Trott has taken away because that's what it says. If you were given the power to erase an invention, not imagine if there was a world, wouldn't that be wacky? No, in this world, it's not wacky. This guy called Chris Trott came along and he removed all the light bulbs. And now it's
They're not going to
darker.
see the nuke button, are they? They're not going to know how
Chris
to put
Trott
that key in.
literally
And
plunging us into a dark age.
That's the situation.
I might make it
Blind the
impossible
enemy.
for most tech to function thanks to that.
Yeah.
No light. You can't have light emitting screens.
Wow. Well, like the old Game Boy.
Everything's going to be like the old Game Boy.
No, like anything.
Everyone's
The
going to
screen is there.
holding
but
a
you can only
candle
really
up
see it
to a
when
4K
Yeah.
screen.
With a magnifying glass.
That'd be a
Yeah, that
nightmare.
was a struggle to enjoy that. You
Okay,
had to
maybe-
have the
Ink
magnifying.
Matrix.
Shall I rephrase the question to make it more fun? What would
Go on,
be
make
the
it really
most
fun.
disruptive invention to get rid of that
Okay.
would mess with
The
The
society?
wheel.
The wheel.
That's a massively disruptive one.
Fuck, that
Well,
would
electricity
really
in
screw
general,
things up.
Like not being able to harness electricity. So
Electricity.
that would be
Yeah.
cut off. We'd be just back to a very basic form of living, surely.
Yeah.
Um,
How dark
Ev-
age can we get ourselves?
dark
Somebody
age, yeah, we've
suggested
pushed ourselves
fire
back.
in chat.
Fire.
That'd be a pretty good one.
What about wood?
wow.
No wood.
Just wood.
Well,
No
nobody-
wood.
Just
No
zero
burnable
wood.
Jesus, that's not
That would
really
be
an invention though. Would you classify
No.
that as an invention?
I
Needs to be something that someone has
classify
gone, okay, this.
working
No, I
of
wouldn't
wood.
classify wood. Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. What we can turn wood into.
Right. Okay.
So woodworking, the knowledge of woodworking is gone.
What about the knowledge of shelter? We just don't
I
know
mean,
how to make
so the
structures.
human race,
Under
the human
trees.
race wouldn't be here. Like, if it would mean that the human race didn't exist, then you can't choose it. I feel like the wheel
Okay.
is incredibly useful for the human
Oh,
race, but not
massively, yeah.
essential. Fire and like sleep and shelter and hunting are probably food procurement are probably essentials for human beings. Beyond that, can't write something invented in the last 100 years. It's
Yeah.
going. What
Well,
is
do you
it?
think it's like a pointless invention, like something that you don't know why it exists because there's another way to do it easier? I'm trying to think. There are some. Like, there's a guy, isn't there, on YouTube or Reddit or something that invents
I'm gonna say
things
it.
that are so
I don't know
unnecessary.
why the theremin exists.
Theremin.
I'm pretty annoyed
Well, I mean, is it-
as an instrument. It's pretty annoying. It
If
doesn't
you-
need to exist.
Yeah.
It's
Do people
there
just
for
learn the
comedic
theremin?
or specifically Doctor Who purposes, and other than that, it's a joke.
I don't know, man. Is it just based on? It's based on how your proximity of your hand to the device, isn't it? So you're like,
It was probably some sort of scientific experiment or measuring device, and then they were like, "Oh, we can make an instrument out of this."
Yeah.
That's really, there's loads of like terrible, weird instruments that kind of shouldn't exist.
Mm.
I mean, there's like that weird instrument that goes. It's like a piccolo instrument, which is just like that's painful on the ears, but like I'm sure there's some culture that loves that shit. That's their bop.
That's their bop.
I don't want to hear that.
Quite a lot of
again.
hip hop songs sample that sort of thing as well. I think.
That's not just that's not singing. Bear in mind, I can't
How accurate is that?
replicate
Yes,
I
just
don't-
wondering.
think it's 100% accurate, but I think it's a blown instrument, which makes it.
Literally,
That
I think that
sound.
is.
You're talking about
It's
a
either a
piccolo?
Brock Hampson or a Mac Miller song uses literally that instrument as like the main riff. I think I know the one you mean. It's like really reedy, kind of like
Raspy, little
yeah.
high pitch, but also kind of not.
It's not a pure tone.
Yeah.
It's a. I don't know. Maybe it's yeah. It's just it pisses through the orchestra,
Right.
and it's not something that it's.
Who the hell's
normally used
pissing
in
on my
kind of like-
audio?
Maybe Dune used some of it. I don't know. Dune, the latest one. Dune.
Oh, probably Dune.
Dune. You seen Dune?
You seen Dune?
Good film. Available on
Ross,
streaming
what,
platforms now, Dune.
What invention would you remove to disrupt society on a troll level?
Oh, on a troll level.
Like to fuck with society for like a week.
I'd like to see what happens if we suddenly removed like fast tills again, because obviously we've lived when they
Not
didn't
self-service.
exist, right? Self-service, like people would just hate it. I think suddenly your shopping trip has taken longer. I mean, at the same time, you probably have to remove online delivery because that is a huge convenience. But in a shop, you just go in, beep, and you're out. That's so quick and easy. But now
Yeah.
you have to queue up behind,
I guess it would
all
make
sorts of
you
giant trolleys. Like, oh, for fuck's sake.
it'd make you reconsider those brief trips to shops like that
Yeah.
just to pick up like a meal deal for lunch or whatever. Because if you're like 3 items, am I really going to queue up behind 5 people with
would it
huge shopping
solve-
trolleys?
Would
to
it solve
get-
the obesity issue? Is that what you're saying? It's a plus.
It would definitely
Let's get rid of
like it would be more work to become that impulsive to buy things like that. I guess
Mhm.
if you couldn't like, are we removing deliveries, like food
I
deliveries as
think,
well?
I think otherwise you would just use that, right?
Yeah.
Obviously, it's not as convenient. Well, I mean, actually saying that, you can get some delivery places that will just deliver within like 20 minutes. It's amazing. You're paying a
Yeah.
premium, of course.
It's crazy, yeah.
But that's a
course.
pretty damn good service. Like if you're like, well, I could go down the shops and use that service and it'd be quick, sure. Or I can press 3 buttons on my phone and bam, Sunny D in my hand.
Sunny D, that's the go-to.
That's what
Sunny D.
that's
I got the
Synthetic
Sunny
orange.
D.
Sunny. I got the Sunny D for this hot heat.
I don't know
What do
if
you do then? You go out and
I
play
haven't had Sunny D in
basketball.
ages. I don't know why I said
I
Sunny
haven't
D.
had Sunny D in
So
years.
long. I don't know if it's kind of quite a chemical tasting.
Yeah.
There's two specific flavors. One was really nice. One was kind of like a bit like
It was like a Florida style one.
Yeah, there was a Florida style and a California style. I
can't
think
remember
is the
which
other
one's
one.
best.
I
Maybe
liked
like
Florida because it was more orangey and it was more tropical. It had like,
Maybe that's why. Yeah.
yeah, I like the
I
tropical
hated
one.
how much I was influenced by marketing as a kid. Jesus Christ. Because I
I
remember thinking, like, I really want some of this stuff. I really want to try it. And then we got some. I had a bit and I'm like, oh, it's incredible. And then my mum would try it and she's like, this tastes like melted like ice lollies. And it literally does. You know, you can taste that it's not real orange juice.
really sugary in comparison.
yeah.
Well, I mean, orange
It's
juice
like
is
a
quite sugary, anyway, but
Obviously, we tasted it at a time
you can
before.
taste when something is real orange juice, right? And like from like juice from an orange, whilst this stuff is quite literally a sort of orange
Manufactured,
syrup.
yeah.
Which, but at the time, I was just so goddamn excited about it because they just look so refreshed.
And you weren't buzzed. You were literally buzzed on the sugar high off of it. So you felt great. And this is before, obviously, they put in like, you know, regulations to like stop Sunny D being so calorific and sugar dense.
Yeah.
So,
but like, I guess I mean, the marketing thing is like, like it's a hot day. You look aside to a billboard. It's an ice cold glass with all the little droplets on it. That's a sell. Bam! I want to drink.
And in 20 minutes,
you will probably magnet towards that one because that was on the ad, and it's just suckered you in through your desires.
It's a good suggestion. What if we got rid of
my desires?
What if we got rid of processed sugars? Imagine how
that would be amazing, though. I mean, because if you mean get rid of it now, because I think there'll be riots. I think there'll be something going. People would.
I think you'd be surprised how much it's in everything and how much you've adapted to having sugar in everything, and it would taste horrible. Everything would taste weird.
Sugar.
Yeah.
I agree.
Sugar. More sugar.
Sugar water. Sugar water.
Sugar water.
He is all of us deep inside. But yeah, no,
I think sugar would be very disruptive.
Yeah.
I think that would be cause an outcry.
Yeah, but then
like if you go back in time and take something away from the populace, that would probably be a plus, right? If you literally swapped it with like sugar-free alternatives, knowing the damage that can do to a society, it's like that would be quite beneficial. People wouldn't be as maybe unhealthy or put as much pressure on NHS, etc., in the more serious elements of those things existing. But obviously, it's nice to have. It's tasty. I love chocolate.
It's very nice, very addictive.
I mean, the other one is like obviously like tobacco would be another.
That'd be a good one to get rid of. Yeah,
it's phasing out well apparently.
Yeah.
But onto something else, which a chemical substance. We're not 100% sure of what that's doing to you, but it's better than the alternative. I think that's the selling point there. And I kind of agree that it's better than. So you're like weaning to a point. It's a gradient, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
So after that, it would just be vaping H2O.
There are downsides to. I mean, there are a lot less downsides to vaping than there are to smoking, without a doubt. And I think it is definitely a good thing to get people off cigarettes. I don't think I've seen it. I know a lot of people have used it to get off cigarettes, and I don't think I've seen a more effective, like, treatment, you could say. So I definitely think vaping is a good thing. To get people off smoking. However, the thing about vaping, right, and this is something that isn't as talked about as much as it should be, is that very, very common vape juice is made of two things: a glycoglycerol and something else. Let me just see, VG and PG. So you've got vegetable glycerin and propylene glycol are both substances that are considered extremely safe and non-toxic and are commonly used in food, cosmetics, pharmaceuticals. Basically, all liquids, pretty much all e-liquids that go in vapes are made up of these two things in different amounts, VG and PG. The thing is, people that they don't really talk about, and something that took me a while to find out about, and also one of the reasons I stopped vaping, because I started vaping for a while and then I stopped. Essentially,
well, this is the thing. A lot of people picked it up.
Yeah.
When they didn't even smoke, so it's just more like fun.
Exactly.
That smells and tastes fun.
Exactly. And so the thing, what it does is, so those two substances, VG and PG, they're basically designed to hold flavor and hold moisture, so that when you inhale it, it creates a vapor, and also is a very tasty vapor. And those two compounds are good at achieving both those things. However, what they also do is draw the moisture out of your mouth and out of your lungs. Okay, so it doesn't increase the amount of moisture available to you, even though it is a vapor. What it does is it sucks the things like saliva levels. It reduces saliva levels in the mouth, And if you reduce the amount of saliva in the mouth, what that does is it throws off all the flora and fauna in your mouth and causes a worse environment for your teeth and gum health.
Sorry, they're
right?
little tiny deers
There are
roaming around in
tiny
my mouth.
plants and animals running around your mouth. But what it means is you're going to
Oh
get
my God, I
gum
never knew.
recession over time. You're going to get worse oral hygiene, basically. You're going to get more decay, everything. So there is a downside to vaping that a lot of people don't seem to know about, and it did take a while for me to find. But essentially, yeah, your mouth health will be worse if you vape versus not vaping. And that will have long-term impacts on your teeth and your gums and probably a little bit your lungs. And that's all I wanted to get out there. Use a platform to maybe educate some people a little bit. But yeah,
What's funny is that there are little kids having them now.
I know.
It's corner shop with some, and I'm not sure whether there is an age limit. Is there an age limit on them?
It's
18?
meant to be the same age as to buy nicotine, which is
right.
currently
Do they all
18,
have
probably
nicotine?
going up to 21. No, not all of them have nicotine in them.
Okay. But yeah, no, there are like children having these things because they smell like candy.
Yeah.
It's like, wow,
It's like
tastes
vapor
like
candy
bubble gum.
floss.
Yummy.
Yeah.
But it doesn't fill you up, does it? You get filled up with a nice tasty
Well, if
popcorn.
it's got nicotine in it, it'll do the opposite. Nicotine's an appetite
Gives you the
suppressant.
munchies.
No, it's an appetite
it
suppressant,
stops you
nicotine.
wanting to
Okay.
eat.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
Gotcha. It makes me like bung up as if I'm allergic to it, so I can't really have it.
No, I never
If someone
tried
blows
vape
vape in my
too much.
face, I'm like, stop it.
Yeah, but that was like what in your Duncan. The clouds he fucking puffed out was ridiculous.
Yeah, but I was noticeably worse than other people reactively.
Yeah.
Like it felt like I had a cold suddenly. So
All right.
I can't vape even if I wanted to. So I'll stick
can't
to the
suck
Cuban
someone else's
cigars.
vape.
Thank
He
you
often
very
did
much.
say,
Yeah, the
yeah,
Cubans.
stick to his Cubans.
I'll stick to my
I know what I'm
Cuban
about.
thanks.
Hell. I've only had a
Like
few
Nixon.
like cigars before, but like the day after, my throat, I can't talk properly.
yeah.
She sound like Deirdre from Chronic. She's dead. Rest in peace.
R.I.P.
Of course.
Beardry.
It's because of all the tobacco. Must be. You got to blame something, right? Not age, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
some people have been
Elderly disease.
shown to have genetic resistance to lung disease.
Well, don't they say
So-
that if you stop, you can still recover quite well?
Well, yeah, of course. It's always better to stop smoking than continue it. But yeah, well, and then it depends on what age you are and all that sort of stuff. If you
90s.
stop
You're
before,
the Queen's age.
no
given
point,
up.
no point, no fucking
Recovery
point.
time.
No point, unless it depends on how quickly you want to go. But if you're 90, like my grandma's like this. I think she's 93 now, and can't remember what we were talking about. But she's always baked a lot, and she's always been like I've always had
She's
like
high.
ice cream every time I go around. She's blazed out of my mind eating ice cream and
She's
making
always baked
Victoria
as well.
sponges, right? But no, like I was talking to her then. I'm like, oh man, we've eaten a lot of cream and ice cream today. How's your cholesterol? And she's like, I'm 93. I've sort of
yeah,
stopped worrying.
honestly,
like
What's the thing? What age do you think you'll just be like, fuck it? 80 is fine, isn't it? Surely.
probably.
Although I guess it depends. If it makes you feel shit, then you wouldn't have it, right?
Yeah, exactly.
But if you're like, ooh, cakes, you would. You'd be like, wow.
Yeah.
A lot of old people that
Yeah.
I know have like diets like that, where like indulging in biscuits and stuff and teas all the time.
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, have a sponge, have a Victoria sponge every day. I mean,
it.
what does it matter? 80 something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think if you reach
Yeah.
that point, like
You've done
70, 80, you've kind of like,
it. Congratulations.
yeah, you're at the average, beyond the average now. Everything past this is a bonus. Enjoy it.
Yeah.
Good job. I'm going to eat like a trifle every day,
Fucking trifle.
or a
What
Death
kind of
by
trifle?
chocolate.
Yeah. What kind of
What kind
trifle?
of trifle?
Strawberry trifle with like a layer of custard and then cream on
Nice.
top.
So you got
Sweet,
whipped
yeah.
cream, custard, and then
How
just
big?
jelly or
how
Jelly,
big is the
strawberry
trifle?
jelly with sponge
Are we
in
talking
it.
about like a big bowl, or you like those little dessert pots?
The huge like Asda trifle. Massive
Nice.
bowl. One a day.
Nice. I think you'll get sick of it.
I'll
I
probably
think
have a
after
massive
day
bowl
3, you'll be
every
like,
day.
different trifle.
I'll switch to chocolate eclairs.
There's a chocolate trifle. You can have that. That's pretty rich.
I'll go through the trifles first. Yeah.
Go through the whole spectrum of trifles and dessert section. See how far it gets you. Maybe we should do that that thing that guy did for McDonald's, where he just had one every day for 30 days.
I could get into that.
Like,
Seriously, I mean, like, our
he had for
health.
breakfast, dinner, like lunch and dinner. And Mac and D's. If they
I
ask
think
for
I
it
think
to
I
go
kind of go
large, you went
crazy.
large.
Just like not. Oh wait, you talking about that? You talking about Super Size Me now?
Yeah, that was super
Yeah.
size me.
That one is like a really accurate representation of like what that does to your body. Another thing I read the other day, which was amazing, because you know the McSpicy at McDonald's.
Yes.
If you don't know what it is, it's basically just a spicy chicken burger. But they originally tried it, first of all, I think it was in Singapore, and I found this really funny blog called like, "Why does the McSpicy give me diarrhea?" or something like that. And essentially, I got really bad diarrhea from it. The next day, I like
right.
was literally like
Right, okay.
I was shitting lava like big time. And I
Spicy
was
ones,
like, really, I mean, I really enjoyed it as well, by the way,
Right.
because I quite like a bit of spice, and it kind of was quite nice. But man, I can't eat them anymore because, like, yeah, apparently half of the people that eat them have quite a violent diarrhea reaction to them, and I am unfortunately in that group. But this guy, I read, hold on, let me, I am McSpicy. Like he did, like, where is it? I eat nothing but a McSpicy for a week for science. This is,
Oh, no.
He must be
this
messed up.
is. Let me just send you this on Discord because I mean
That's-
you need to read it at some point. Everyone does. It's on ricemedia.co, and I think they were based in or are based in Singapore. What's day one? It's a beautiful world, and there's like a picture of him all excited and happy to like start eating this McSpicy, and then day two is called Tiger Bum.
Tiger bum. Like tiger, like balm.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
for his
yeah.
bum, right?
But he's eating these things like 3 times a day, and he's one of the guys that gets like this awful reaction to this thing.
Oh my god! So day one, he's already doing the diarrhea.
Yeah.
And then day two, he's like, "Well, I've got to go back for more."
It evolves. Like he ends up getting like laryngitis because he eats them
my
and all this sort
God.
of stuff. Like,
laryngitis.
I don't know how it's related, but it's honestly, it's a great
Insane.
read. Just Google "I ate nothing but McSpicy for a week for science" and you'll find
Hell.
it. But really, I put it in Just Hats, but it really is worth a read because oh my god, it was making me laugh. But anyway, yeah, I wish I could do this, but I can't.
But
How do we
suffer
even
from
get
that.
onto that tangent?
I don't know. This question is almost like Room 101. Like,
Yeah.
do we want to get rid of vapes? Do we want to get rid of McSpicies?
I mean, don't get rid of them because they're quite delicious.
I think vapes have done well to get people off of smoking in that sense.
Yeah, I think so.
But the downside is that they're so like moreish and tasty for kids that it's more.
We've added a whole new user group.
New user group. So tobacco markets have moved on to that to know that they're going to get addicted to this thing instead, which is good for us. And obviously, we don't know the full damage of those until I guess we'll find out in 10 to 15 years. I don't know how long it takes for them to realize how bad those things are.
I mean, yeah, you absolutely. I mean, they could be. The thing is, right?
If they're even that bad, I don't know.
I think they probably, of course, is stuff we don't know about them. But I also probably think that there's stuff that we don't know about, like everything else. Yeah, it's like we are guaranteed to in the next 20 years, 30 years, some form of public health scandal. Be it the Teflon scandal. Like, there's just too many crazy things going on.
How long were we eating horse for?
How long were we eating horse for? And did I get a taste for it? Did I think, oh no, I will reach for the finders once again?
I have noticed that like lasagnas and shepherd's pies haven't been quite as tasty as they have back in the day.
That's because you're missing.
I've got a penchant for horse. I think.
Yeah, much like your favorite film and stage production, Warhorse.
Warhorse, of course.
Yeah,
those are dead horses.
Those are made of like wicker.
You have to eat horse.
Yeah.
Chris Trott left a review, 5 stars. It made me hungry.
5 stars. Had to go to McDonald's.
One downside: the horses were all hollow.
I'd
rather a bit more meat on those bones.
You hungry, hungry boy.
Famished horses. Yeah, I don't know. It's like Room 101, but the spicy stays. Apparently, you're still staying with the spicy. Would you have it again, even though you were punished?
No, I probably wouldn't because it was pretty awful diarrhea. Like it was just one session, but it was bad. It was like the ones where you're like, oh, like real like deep
it hurts.
Ache.
You could feel it in your belly.
And like exactly.
I think there's more. I'm not sure. I'll stay here.
Like my bowels went. Like my bowels were spasming. Like at a certain point, like it feels like you're squeezing, and you're just squeezing nothing because your bowels are in such disarray.
Oh,
God.
You know, you got to go to a timer system at that point. You're like, right, in 2 minutes, if nothing's fallen out of my ass, even though things feel like they're coming out of my ass, I need to accept my fate. I need to go and get in the shower because now my asshole is so sore from the McSpicy that I can't touch it with tissue paper.
Yeah,
you know?
because then you'll touch your eyes.
Yeah, because then you'll touch your eyes. Exactly.
Didn't wash my hands. Rookie.
If anything does
it always happens when
suddenly
you stand up
emerge
again, though. That's
after
when you
like
need to go
5
again.
minutes, it could be a hernia. So you just got to stop pushing at that point.
Oh, you got to be careful.
You
You're
gotta be
going to
really
end up with the hemorrhoids or the hernia, something with H.
Yeah, all the bad stuff.
And it's popping out your skin all over the place, like whack-a-mole. Push it back in. Push
I'm
them all back
dodging
in.
hemis, bro.
Gross.
What was the second Patreon?
Anyway,
question?
the second Patreon question, Alex, if you wouldn't mind.
Patreon question number 2. How would you react if you found out you have a sibling you never met? Join the queue, mate. Already got 2 of them.
Well, I told you about that documentary I watched, where
Yes.
there was a doctor who decided to take it upon himself to replace all the sperm samples with his own.
Yeah.
But he did it to an entire community of people.
Yeah. So they're all related to him.
Yeah.
I don't want to spoil the documentary, but the key fact to remember from that is there's over 100 of them, and they could have fucked each other.
Oh,
wouldn't know.
God.
They wouldn't know until they plug their information into a DNA website. They wouldn't know. So they could have met their siblings walking on the street, half siblings at least. I would be shocked.
Yeah.
I would be shocked, and some of them were like, I feel like a missing piece. I need to know all of these people. It's just like, I don't think you need to know all those people.
No, that was so goddamn dramatic.
They aren't your brother and sister. Like, yes, they are on paper and biologically sure, but like, you're not gonna have this. You didn't grow up with them. I don't know. I feel like there's a difference between growing up with someone and then just going, that guy's your brother. Oh, is he? Oh, I won't go over there.
Yeah, I don't need to meet him.
I'm not. I don't
Yeah.
know. I don't. It's another birthday card, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. It's
It's,
another
I'm-
birthday card. It's a nightmare. Oh, God's sake. It's
that's
100 of
what's
you.
really
Jesus.
gonna get.
Hell.
Yeah, people are gonna be pissed when they know not another birthday card.
Because if someone rushed up to you and said, "Oh, by the way, there's a doctor who's been fucking around with loads of people's pregnancies. You might be one of them," would you be like, "Yeah, I don't think I am. I'm not going to do the test. Walk away." Because you don't want to know. Do you want to know?
Well, like you say, some of the people in
Or
that
do you want to
documentary
capitalize
were
on it? I
like,
didn't want to capitalize on it.
I've always felt like I've had a lot of siblings, but I'm an only child, and you're just like, shut up.
You know,
Where
you know that in
where did you
hindsight.
learn?
Yeah.
Like,
You never had
and
those
it's just like,
feelings.
giving
Well, no,
Americans
the
a bad
weirdest part
name.
of that
That's why
documentary
people think Americans are stupid
Yeah.
when they
But the
say
weirdest
things
part of that
like that.
documentary was the doctor then did like gyno exams and stuff on his kids.
I mean,
That's
it's
the
all
fucked up
it's
part.
fucked up
It's
all
an
the way
interesting
down.
documentary. I honestly, I thought it was going to be one of those throwaway shitty American ones where it's just like, this doctor. I hate the voiceover ones. They're so shit. Netflix is pulling like the straws trying to get those on there. They're not very good.
Yeah.
But this one was interesting and kept me gripped because of the pure the numbers. They teased the numbers throughout, and spoiler alert, there's loads.
There's
He
so
sounds
many.
so excited by
Because there's so many. It's just like
they
but
tease
they
the
all live
numbers,
in the
and,
same area. They
boy,
don't move
man, I've seen the numbers. Oh,
None of them move
boy.
away. They're all there. They're all local. And it's just like, I could have made love to my half brother and didn't
you could
know.
have
And it's like,
done.
yeah, you could have. That's why this documentary is interesting. That guy fucked you all over. None of you were suing him. They got him on the watch it. It's interesting.
None of you are suing him.
I would be. Oh man, that guy. There are guns. You can get guns legally. I'm surprised none of them lapped out. 100.
Well,
That guy's
they're
fucked up,
dead
man.
now.
He's a
parental figure.
mega dad.
Yeah,
Mega dad.
that's a mega
He's an
dad.
abuser. He's wrong. There's something wrong with that person.
Yeah, I mean, it's very wrong. Again, I didn't expect this patron question to go this way. I was
No
betting
one
like
did.
a...
Abuser.
The sibling thing that was recent, that documentary, and that is literally the scenario. Like if you did meet your siblings, so if you bumped into them like in a coffee shop, you're like, hang on, you look familiar.
You look
I
a
don't
lot
feel
like
like that's
me.
ever gonna. Sorry, I don't feel like that would ever happen. Even if I saw someone who looked a lot like
Hold
me,
on
I'm
a
like,
sec.
are you my fucking brother?
Let's go.
I think- I think-
both get a
You
DNA
must be my
test
brother.
right now.
Let's go.
Are you
on,
What are
busy?
you up to? We're just getting coffees.
You raise your hand up. I was getting a coffee, but you raised your hand up, and they raised their hand
Brother!
up too. And
You're a lefty
and they
too?
start mirroring you.
Our hands are the same.
There's no way. It would have to be someone like calls you up and says, "I think I'm your half brother or brother." It's like, what? No way.
I mean, that'd be kind of cool.
Would you
but
hang up
equally
or just
like
follow through with it? Like, how busy are you? That you
I
think
don't
you would
really
take the time?
care. Honestly, it's shared experiences that make a sibling, not like genetics.
Sure, but like,
Yeah, otherwise it
they were really
undermines like
adamant about it.
the whole idea of adoption, doesn't it? If it's like if
Yeah.
it means that much that you have to know your biological siblings, then and that's also saying that adoption doesn't matter.
Well, no, but it's true. It's
What about
entirely
your,
true.
if it
Like,
reveals stuff about your parents that you just never knew? And it's
Yeah,
like,
they're
do I
sleeping
wanna-
around.
Do I
Well,
want to pull on
yeah,
that? Do I want to pull on
massive.
that thread? Maybe I do, because it's good to know these things. But is it good to know these things? And
What's
is it
Dad been
nice
up
to just
to?
bury your head in the sand and
Yeah.
leave it there? And
If you
just
found out
continue living
you
your
were
life?
one of those hundreds, Ross,
Yeah.
how would you take that?
Well, it's weird because I think that there are ways you could. I feel like some of the people on it have capitalized on that in a way that might benefit them from books and or stories and or magazine
Yeah.
articles, interviews and stuff. So there is a financial element where I think that
I
fuck
could
it,
write
you
a book
could
on
do.
this before the
But
other 100 get on
a
it.
hassle level of just being like kind of like almost. I mean, obviously there were loads of people who weren't even named on that because you don't have any privacy. Suddenly you're like part of this huge kind of. I was one of the Doctor 100 guys, the 100 brothers or whatever it is. Like you just like you'd be known as
100
one of
brother.
those. And it's like, oh, you're one of those. Yeah, okay. I would move away from that area.
I mean,
Yeah.
probably.
People seem to very
Yeah.
much stick in America, like stick in their.
It's a big
community.
place. People got to stick together.
It is big.
It's a long drive.
There's so much stuff. There's that's amazing. Move around, west or east coast.
Yeah.
So that's the only places.
The places we've been.
Just
Only
skip
places
the
we-
middle
only
bit.
places worth going. Honestly, the middle's just crazy.
Whoa, what are you talking about? Fresno,
Oh,
just
of
north
course,
of
yeah.
LA.
No,
Hell,
yeah.
all of
Well,
LA.
don't forget San Antonio. We should go back there.
Oh, we should the Riverwalk. Oh, I'd
The
love to
Riverwalk.
walk its
I bet
cobbled
it's not
streets
changed
again.
at all.
Rich
Which is perfect,
history
it's
of about
perfect.
25 years of
Yeah.
retail.
That's great,
To walk the river. Can I go in that river? Hell no.
We
Don't
went
go in
up that
river.
tower and we had the breadth of history given to us.
Oh, we did. Well, I remember one of the key
Don't
points
forget the
was
Alamo.
Yeah,
They
the
built
Alamo.
a
I mean,
huge-
that's longer than 25 years ago.
well, yeah, that's true. The Alamo, which
True.
was pretty small.
Underwhelmed by the front line of Civil War.
It's this,
I wish it were bigger.
I feel like I wish I,
it
it's,
wasn't,
it's
that
one-
wasn't even Civil War. It wasn't Civil
It's one of those things
War.
where it's just like when you look at the history, you're like that's it. That's really not that far away. Especially when you think a few grandmas away. It's like what?
That's a few grandmas. away.
That's amazing, and that is so.
It
young.
also solidifies how horrific society has been very recently.
Yeah.
And still kind of is. It's only a
It's,
few grand people ago that
yeah.
slavery existed.
Well, exactly. It's like whoa.
We got to keep. I mean, I get it. Whatever. It's cool. Sure. I mean, I don't know how cool it is. Like, it wasn't ultimately a fight between Texans and Mexicans and just shooting each other, and a load of people got slaughtered.
You
And, like, a
obviously
bunch of
took in all the
young-
history there. And
A
then,
bunch of young men. Like, well, there's a
and
bunch
there's
of
just a
names
bunch
of
of
people
fighting.
who
There
were
was an
like,
Alamo.
it was a civil war with Mexico. Well, surely if it's a war between the two nations, it can't be a civil war. Sad bear. I don't
Just
know.
a-
Maybe not. I mean,
Maybe
like,
civil war's
ultimately
an
it's like a bunch
oxymoron
of
anyway.
19 to 21-year-olds.
civil about
Like, Texas is part of Mexico, so it could be yeah. Anyway, I'm not going to pretend I know anything
Yeah.
about it. I just think it's sad that people kill each other, and the only reason it's really glorified is so that people can still be convinced to do it in the future. But yeah, not bad. I think the Alamo was more interesting than the Riverwalk. And but then
honestly, the
Dave
Riverwalk
and
is
Buster's,
just-
where does that come in?
Oh, true. The historical.
It's a great franchise.
Dave and
It was
Buster's.
a Mexican territory, right?
Yeah. How long were we there for? I forget now. 3 days? 4?
5 days, I
I
thought.
think it was 5
It's too
days. It was
long,
like a
isn't it?
longer
Too
weekend
Yeah.
long. It felt long.
situation.
5 is long.
That was for PAX,
Yeah.
right?
That was, yeah.
That was
Oh,
PAX,
like-
and that wasn't very good either. Impressive how big
We
it
should have gone
was.
to Austin. We made a mistake there, didn't we?
Ye-
We had an opportunity. We
Oh,
just-
we should've
we
gone.
had
Oh,
like
but the
two,
Riverwalk.
we had like 2 days, and we were like, maybe there'll be lots
Yeah.
to look at in San Antonio anyway, so we won't do that.
travel was long to get
I
there.
liked Whataburger. That was quite good.
Waterburger.
Waterburger. And
Whataburger?
that town, the coolest bit of the trip was the bit when we went to do filming, I think, for that one.
Oh yeah, like the Western place with the cows.
Yeah.
That was
Got a
cool.
bit more
And just
rural with
messing
it.
around all day, like
And Trott was
pretending
dressed as Nugget.
Nugget.
Perfect.
And we
Go
got to
karting was fun.
Play with guns all day, fake guns, to the annoyance of the crew, of us constantly cocking and whipping out our pistols, because there's just something about having a gun in your hand, you know?
They were plastic, weren't they?
No, they were metal, I think. They were like die-cast metal, so they were,
Oh my
you know,
God. Yeah.
classic cheap.
I forgot did we have guns?
Yeah, how can I forget that feeling in my hand of absolute power? Wasn't a real gun. Wasn't even a cap gun.
They weren't stage guns or anything. There was no hot gun scenario.
No hot gun.
Is that film done now, by the way? That Rust film that they were making when that happened. Is that a dead film?
Oh, I don't know.
Do you write a film off now? Because I mean, how long were they through
Baldwin.
production? Yeah.
Couldn't tell you.
It feels like that's not going to be something that you'd want to release because it's always going to be known for that. So it's like, well,
or maybe that will be a draw, you know? Notoriety.
Well, maybe we.
Yeah.
I mean, I would release it.
Well, the thing is, each film is a company, right? It's a project. It's had X amount of money.
It's a collective group of people.
So, like,
yeah,
but they're also insured for this kind of thing you would expect. They'd be insured for if a main actor died. What's his name? Ray Liotta. He died halfway through filming something as well. It's like, do they then go, okay, well, let's do the Paul Walker thing. Let's find if they got siblings and then put their face on them.
Or you go Dr. Imaginarium, the Imaginarium Dr. Parnassus and have like 6 different actors. You know, there's always a different way around it.
Because it really depends on the film.
It really does.
Yeah.
I think you could Imaginarium Dr. Parnassus any film.
I mean,
just swap the actor every 10 minutes.
Exactly. But I mean, there was something really uniquely cool about that, about how all these other actors like stepped up, or however you want to brand it, to like try and create something. And I think also that depending on the film, you have people genuinely trying to create art. I'm not sure that Fast and Furious comes into either of those. And personally, I don't know.
Him, that's why they chose him, because they were like, well, we've got like 2 scenes left. Let's just put his face on his face.
I mean, fair enough. And I mean, if it means that his family gets paid and stuff, but I guess you would just be like, I don't know. I think people, I don't know.
Well, I feel
like the whole scene about them like parting.
Clearly,
well, this is what's so dumb, right? Is that like, do people care about? Yeah, and then they had that scene at the film after he just died, where they do the whole roads thing and they split off, and and Paul Walker's character. Yeah, exactly. That awful song kicks in. I'll see you again. A guy's died. A guy has died.
That song was #1 for a long time.
I know. And it's just like, do you just invest in feelings as an entertainment product now? Is that it? Like, that's all people do. It's just like...
I mean, how many years was that project on for? Like, Fast and Furious must be, what, 10
but it's not that kind of film.
I know it's not that kind of film. But like...
stupid film. Like, I mean, like, it's fun. Sure. But like...
They didn't finish the film. They had to get someone in.
It's just
family. It's about family. Vin Diesel and his family.
They say it all the time. It's about family.
Oh God!
I've not seen a Fast and Furious film.
What would you suggest would have happened?
What do I suggest would have happened?
They wrote him off like they just in dialogue. Oh no, that guy died. He's one of the main characters.
I don't have a particular.
He left town and then he died.
I don't have a particular problem with them using digital effects. Like, I really don't. Like, that's fine. It's more about the tone of how it is handled. All right. And I didn't really have a problem with that stupid song and the bits pulling away from each other. But it's kind of dumb that at some point somebody had the conversation of like, we need to do this for the fans. You know?
I didn't watch that. I didn't watch the last one. I've been watched like
it's not enough that they all know that Paul Walker's dead. It's like, no, we need to make this something beautiful. And it's like, well, we're working on the Fast and Furious sort of canvas here. Can we really pull that off? No, we can. Yeah, we can. This is Hollywood. You know, I don't know. It's just a bit perverse.
There's been more since, hasn't there? There's been more since.
Oh yeah, but that's different. That's not necessarily using Paul Walker as a feelings lever.
No. But
yeah, there are loads of them. They just go on forever and ever until people stop buying tickets. Like, that's fine. That's fine. It's an entertainment product. That's how it's meant to work, I guess. I thought I understood that.
So that's how you would react if you met a sibling.
Yeah, I started.
I'd encourage you to
back
be a
around.
stunt double.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Do
And
you
then
also feel
cover me.
that Fast and Furious is over leveraging serious, real things for ticket sales? That's
so
what
glad
I
Yes.
thought about until now.
I'm so
Wait,
glad I
let me
bumped
have a
into
look at your
You're a real
hands.
brother. You could be my double. I'm part of a trio. You could just replace
If I
me.
die,
in
I
the
give you
recordings.
full rights to be a body double to send me off.
Nice.
Full rights.
Nice.
I want you to make
That's all
bank,
that I'm
bro.
getting out of this.
Good.
Yeah,
All right.
there
Well,
you
on
go.
that note, we're reaching the end. Much like the crossroads in Fast and Furious, we are reaching our end of this episode.
Drifting away.
Which one of us is going down that right path? I'd like to know.
Chris Trott.
Shit.
The right path's the good path. The
Oh, is
right
that the
path,
good
I
one?
think, is the one Dom went down.
Right.
I
Didn't one of them
think
lead to a cliff edge?
one of them went
Or am I
straight off a
thinking- I'm
cliff and
thinking of a
into a
different film?
raging ocean. Like they really laid it on thick. There was no subtext there. They were just like the car. He turns, smiles, and then just lifts lazily to the left, and the car just flies off the side through a barrier out into South African.
This metaphor
dramatic
really
coastline.
hits you in the face,
Holy
doesn't it?
shit. So they just and then they turn back, and Dom's just there, just shocked.
I
And then
can't
it cuts
believe
to
he
black.
died.
Yeah. Like it's a really unsubtle death scene they put in instead.
He's dead
Is it
now.
but it's quite shocking that
No.
he died like he died in a car, like a Fast and Furious
Yeah.
accident in real life.
It was a
Not
car
while
crash,
the cameras
yeah.
weren't rolling. It was a genuine car crash,
Yeah.
a fiery one in a fancy car as well.
Mm.
Yeah.
I'm guessing that was talked about quite in depth. How long ago was that now? Was
I
it as
don't
long
know.
ago as Michael Jackson's death? 2009.
No,
I remember
it
that
wasn't.
the other day. 2009. I thought it was like yesterday.
It's
Do
a
you
lot
feel-
of death.
Do you miss him?
Oh, MJ or Paul?
Yeah.
Which one?
It's weird that you call Paul by his first name, but MJ is his initials.
PW. PW
Thank you.
MJ.
Thank you.
Well,
Is this a code? Do I need to write this down? Am I meant to be
you probably-
deciphering this?
you probably guessed that even if I didn't mention Michael Jackson beforehand.
Mm.
If I said MJ, you might just go Michael Jackson or
Michael
MJ
Jackson.
Fox. But you wouldn't think if I said PW, you're like, what the fuck, who? Who's PW? I was like,
Hey,
he died in a car
hey,
accident. Furious
PW.
died. Fast and Furious, PW. No, I don't specifically miss either of them. One of them was outed as a horrible pervert. Which one? You
Not
decide.
Paul.
Let us know. Not well. You decide. It's the court of public opinion. Which one do you think was a worse pervert?
One of them I didn't even know was a pervert.
Hold on a second.
Hold on
Slander.
a second. Let's go digging. What's he going to do? Sue me? He's dead. Although he does have an estate.
His
They all have
estate
estates.
totally can. But
Okay.
just so you know, me and Trott don't share the same views.
we do
This
not.
is going to be all on Ross. Ross, all this is you. Me and Trott can act like your attorneys in court, though. I think we'd both be down for that.
That sounds like a laugh. Also, I think Fast and Furious is a work of art. Thank you for listening today to Hat Chat, and we hope you all enjoy the good week off. We hope there's no major celebrity deaths that you're going to miss, and that gets CGI doubled in a movie. So
Yep.
that's what we wish for you. Please enjoy
Yeah.
the full fingle of this Western style genre of our Hat Chat theme, and we'll see you all next week. And Ross has got a load of funny news that hopefully we get to read out next time.
Yeah, we'll read next
Yeah.
time. There's some funny bits.
Read it next time. Have a bloody good week, everyone. And we'll see you
Yep.
on the flip side.
Bye.